I'm outside in an AMG, right outside, TT, two-turn baby girl, you know me. Still with the dolls that I grew beside. All the niggas round me, died and they died. Gotta watch the time, cause it's flying right by.
Hi babes, welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you're new here, karibu sana. If you're a returning subscriber, I love you very much. So today we're going to talk about my whole process, moving to Germany process, because a couple of you asked me on my DMs how I got to moving to Germany and the process, how long it took, what did I do, how much did I pay. So I think I'm going to go into depth today. I moved to Germany in 2019, as you'll already know. So after high school, I studied German in town. That was like at Commerce House. I studied German A1 and A2 level. That was costing around 16,000 Kenyan shillings per semester. Let me just say semester because it was like 3 months. So it was costing 16,000 and then 16,000. And then we had to do like exams for you to get the certificate. So like you get an A1 certificate and then you get an A2 certificate. So like you pay 16,000 for the 3 months and then you pay around 10,000 for the exams. Like the A1 exams you pay separately, and then when you pass the A1 exams you go do the A2 semester, now the 3 months, and then you do the exams. And we used to do the exams at Goethe. So like if you calculate everything, it's around 16 32 plus 20 52, around 60k just to like know the basics. That is how I paid, and it was around 2018, early 2019, and it took me 3 months. It depends with how fast you are to study the language, like how fast are you to study a new language. School was called Dynamic Language School, and the owner of the school was an agent. She used to do this: if you pass the exams, she would help you look for a family or get a family, and like she'll do everything for you, like the family, the visa, the preparation for the visa. After I finished my exams, I went to her, paid around 100k to the agent for her to like help me with getting the family, for her to help me with embassy, and then she started the looking for family. So when she gets a family, she tells you, I got a family. You have to make a video of you with kids, kind of, just to show that you know your way around kids. So like you make just like a short clip of you with kids, playing with them, doing this and that with the kids, and then you send her, and then she uploads it on an Aupair website. So she got a family for me. I got to talk to the family. We got to know each other. We used to do like video call. They were really nice. We used to video call each and every day. That period of you guys knowing each other, talking is really important when you go for your embassy interview. A week after we got a family, the agent booked the embassy appointment for me, and I had to pay 10,000 for the interview. But you guys have to keep in mind that this was in 2019 September. Before the appointment, the lady will help you with everything. She helped me with everything. Like we had to write the letter telling the embassy why you should get the visa. You have to have if you have a driving license, kudos, that is a plus. We like now your certificates, like the A1 and A2, to show them, and then you need your passport. This only applies to people who are going for au pair. You have to have worked with kids or done something with kids, even if it's voluntary, even if it's work. Like if you've worked in a kindergarten, that is a plus. If you've volunteered at an orphanage, that is like you'll definitely get a visa. Let me just tell you that, because I feel like getting an au pair visa is the easiest visa. If you've gone to college, you don't even have to go to university, but you also don't need to go to college. I'm just saying, if you've gone to college and you show them the diploma or whatever, it's a plus. Like you are gonna get the visa. And then the misconception that goes around is that you have to talk German in the embassy. No, you don't. You don't have to talk German in the embassy, because these people studied till maybe B1, B2. You cannot construct a sentence in German. You cannot trick me. They understand you cannot, like, even if you can, but they still understand it. That is a reach, you know. So the misconception that you have to speak German the whole interview, no, not unless you have a C1 certificate. Now you have to show them that you can speak German, you know. But for me, I went there that morning. They took my things, documents that I had, took the photocopies, I think, but you have to go with the original and the photocopy. They took the photocopies and then to wait for someone to come and pick me up for the interview. Yeah, the lady came and she was like, no, it was a lady and a guy. And they both looked young. I think they were doing Ausbildung at the embassy. I really think they were doing like apprenticeship at the embassy. So they came and the lady was like, Miss Munyendo. And then I was shivering, guys. I was sweating, I was shivering, I was just like, what the F? And the day before, like, let me tell you, the lady now, like my agent, they give you questions to study. Like, they tell you, this will come, because they know these things. So they be like, this is gonna come. First of all, the question for, how are you going to come back to Kenya? That is why they catch people. That is why they catch people, because they ask people, how are you going to come back to Kenya? Or like they ask, are you planning to come back to Kenya? And then someone answers, I'm planning to go to the university there and like study and further my education. Bitch, they're not gonna give you a visa because they know you're going to like utakwamilia country yao, by the way. So that is why they don't give you a visa. So if they ask you, are you coming back to Kenya? Like, do you think, or like, if they ask you, are you coming back to Kenya? Bitch, say yes. Say yes. Because for me, I had studied hospitality in college. So when she asked me, what are you, first of all, they don't ask you, are you going to come back to Kenya? Because that is so obvious, you know. So they ask you, what are you going to do after the Aupair year? So she asked me like that, what are you going to do after the Aupair year? And I was just like, but I was coached already, you know, like now, you know, because I feel like if I had gone there without the coaching of the agent or the coaching of the lady, I would just be like, oh, I'll plan to look for school and further my studies and da 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 da, you know. So when she asked me, what are you going to do after your au pair year? I was like, I want to come back to Kenya and teach them what I learned from hospitality. Like, I want to put what I learned in use, because I'll be learning a different culture from my culture. And the lady was just smiling. You could see she was smiling ear to ear. In my head, I'm just like, you cannot trick me. You cannot trick me. Anyway, so she was just smiling. So I could say she was happy. And by the way, the lady she was really nice, like really nice, because I've had horror stories from embassy people. So yeah, she was like, and then if you're going to Germany, I'm talking to the people who want to go as au pairs, because that is the easiest visa, by the way, let me tell you. And for the people who feel embarrassed to say the au pairs, babe, look where you are and look at the people who are judging you, or like look at the people who are supposed to judge you. You're just like, boy, my bank account and your bank account don't compare. Let's start there. Okay, let's start there. So shut up and sit down. And I also know you want a visa to Germany. Get you a nice agent who knows things. I'm telling you guys, Commerce House, dynamic. That place is 4th floor. Go Commerce House, 4th floor, Dynamic Institute. Clive, Dynamic Institute. There, go there. So get your things in order. Au pair, you don't need a lot of things. You need your bank statement, your passport, and to show that you've worked with kids. If you have a diploma, it's a plus. If you have a driving license, it's a plus. You're gonna get the visa. Just go there, prepared. So what other questions is there gonna be? If you're going for au pair, know your family. You remember when I said that the time that you and your family are video calling, talking to each other, that is really important. They asked me in the embassy, like at the embassy, what is the name of your family? Do you guys communicate? And where do they live and whatever. So know your thing. Because if I just gone there, I've talked to them one day and I'm like, talk to your family before going to the embassy and make sure it's like frequently video call, talk about where they live, talk about their hobbies. They ask me, what is your host family like? What are your host parents doing? Both of my host parents were doctors, so I'm like, the dad is like a doctor, like he's a family doctor, and the mom was like a dentist. So just go inside prepared, know your answers. They don't even ask you anything about your own parents, like in Kenya or whatever. They don't ask you. Your dressing, by the way. Your dressing, don't go there looking shenanigans. I think that is my favorite word. So don't go there looking just with don't go dressed with sweatpants. Let me tell you guys, Germans hate sweatpants. They hate sweatpants. First of all, this is the first country I came, and it's kind of a taboo. Okay, it's not a taboo, but if you wear sweatpants and go outside, the way in Kenya we just wear sweatpants and chill, or you can just style sweatpants and look cool and nice. If you wear sweatpants here, they be like, joggingshose, bitch, joggingshose. Oh, God. Don't wear sweatpants to the embassy. That one is a direct fail. Go there looking nice. Don't overdo. I didn't even do makeup. Oh, I did not even do makeup. I did just pack a Vaseline kwa uso, put Vaseline on your face, pack a Vaseline kwa uso, vaka official kako, go. I think I was wearing a skirt, a really long skirt. I was looking like a clown. I was wearing a really long skirt with a blouse and like a blazer. And a blazer. Yeah, and weird as shoes, but they were flats. I think they were flat shoes. Yeah. And then just know yourself. Know when to talk and know when to not talk. Just don't go there blabbering. You cannot shut up. Bitch, you need to learn how to shut up. In the German embassy, I don't know. It's not like I saw African Toto explaining about the US embassy that you guys go a lot of people inside and then you're called one by one at the counter. No, in the German embassy, like I'm saying, when I went, there's no counters. You go into rooms. Now you and the interviewer. It's just you and the interviewer, and they have your documents ready. So if you did not go through your documents, you're not gonna get a visa, because they ask you questions from the documents, and if you stutter, nothing. They're not gonna give you a visa. So go through your documents, read your letter to the embassy. If you lied about anything, bitch, cram that thing. Read it through. If you have any fake certificates from the college or whatever, make sure. Okay, I'm just giving you guys advice. If you have any fake certificate from the college, because I know some of the people are like, I've not done college, but I really want to get this thing, and then you go to Kangundo Road there in town and then fake a certificate. Babe, don't do that. Don't do that, because if they catch you, you're never gonna step foot in their country. So make sure your documents are right. Like I'm telling you, if you do everything right, I think German embassy is the easiest embassy to get a visa from. because I've had stories from the US Embassy and I'm just like, wow, that is the ghetto. So in Kenya, I think that is the easiest embassy to get if you have everything in order. If you have everything in order and you know your whatever and you know your God. Because the day I was going for the interview, I could not sleep. And the previous day, I was studying my questions because I had an A4 full of questions and answers. So I was just cramming my questions, studying my questions, and I could not sleep. At 3 a.m., I was still awake. I could not sleep, and I was leaving at 5 or 6. I was leaving at 6 because my interview was early in the morning. So go through your questions, go through your documents. Know which date, because they will ask you, which date did you finish this and this? Or most of the people have, I know this, most of the people, you see that that reference letter, the one that maybe you've done something somewhere with kids, I've seen that most of the people, they fake that. And the thing that they forget to do is like cram the dates that are written on the documents. So when you get to the embassy, you find, when you get to the embassy and you're thinking, they're not gonna ask me, they're just, the documents is just here to be checked and like confirmed that I did that. They're going to ask you and they'll be like, now let's assume it's Frau Tsulu. They're like, Frau Tsulu, when did you do the kindergarten thing? She has the document or he has the document there, but they just want you to say when. And if you do not cram your dates, baby, you're not gonna stutter. You're not gonna stutter. You cannot trick me. You cannot trick me. So if you do not study the dates, study your documents from A to Z. And then another thing, you don't have to speak German in the interview, but there's a time they will ask you, like the last question has to be in German. So for me, she was like, when I entered the interview room, I was nervous, kind of, and I think it could show. And she was like, are you nervous? I'm like, yeah, I'm nervous, obviously. And then I asked her, are we gonna speak in German? She was like, no, we're not gonna speak in German, no. So you don't have to speak German. If you see they're speaking in German, you can ask them to speak in English. That is not gonna make them not give you a visa. The thing that is giving you a visa is your confidence, your God, your preparation. And then, but the thing that is mandatory is the last question, you have to answer it in German. I'm talking to the people who want to come here as au pairs. The last question, you have to answer it in German. And I think for me, my last question was like, what are your hobbies? And I had to say my hobbies in German so that they know that I have basic knowledge of German. So yeah, and when I was done, she was like, but for me, I knew I got the visa in that room, but like the German embassy and the US embassy are not the same, because the US embassy, you're gonna be told if you got the visa or not, or you're given a card or something. But for the German embassy, you don't know anything when you leave there. They will tell you a week or 2 weeks after. But for me, I knew I got the visa, because she was like, when I was leaving, she was like, go home and buy a lot of winter clothes. I was just like, baby, me and you, we finna marry. No, she was like, go home and buy a lot of winter clothes. And she smiled at me and I was like, was I that good? I know it's good, but like, was I that good? Yeah. So after I left the embassy place, after I think 1.5 weeks, I got a message. They don't, the worst part about German embassy, they don't tell you that even if they send you the email to go collect your passport, because you leave your passport at the embassy. Even if they send you an email to tell you go collect your passport, the email doesn't say you've gotten the visa or nothing. They just tell you, go collect your passport at this and this place at this time. So when I went to collect my passport, I'm just there. I was trembling, but I kind of knew. You know, when you know that it's there, but you're not really sure. Maybe you're just like, maybe I was overthinking when she told me to buy jackets, and my visa was there. And I was like, wow, oh God, oh God. I called my dad the first thing. I'm like, Daddy, I got the visa. He's like, what? Let's look for transport. Da, da, da. Like, things went so fast. And then, like, after I got the visa, I was traveling in a week. After I got the visa, I was going the next week. Like, now coming to Germany. Yeah, and now the date of my traveling, I had to like buy things, obviously. So I traveled the week after I got a visa, after I got my visa, and then I took a plane. I took a plane from Nairobi I took a plane from Nairobi to Zanzibar. I took a plane from Nairobi to Zanzibar. I took a plane from Nairobi to Zanzibar, and then from Zanzibar to Germany. I was supposed to take from Zanzibar to Germany, but it did not happen because apparently Zanzibar people are racist. And those motherfuckers are black like me. Like, the fuck? Those people. Let me all tell you this story. So, I took the plane from JKIA, and that was at night. A 19-year-old kid. She's never been on a plane. This is the first time she's taking a plane, going anywhere outside of Kenya. She's never even been to Mombasa. You now see, this is the first time I was taking a plane. 19 years old me. I'm 19-year-old taking a plane to another continent. So my connecting plane was in Zanzibar. So my plane was leaving at around I think 12 or 11 at night from Nairobi, JKI. So we left at 11, got to Zanzibar at around 1 a.m. in the morning. When I got to Zanzibar, I have every fucking thing of mine, my document, birth certificate, everything. So when you enter the airport and there's like security or like police or whatever, the security they're checking, because we were entering at 1 a.m. in their country, so they were like standing there checking. And I saw the way these people were looking at me, and I was like, what did I do? What did I do? So one of the police came to me, security guard. They're not even qualified to be called police. Those are security guards. So one of the security guard came to me, and he was like, he was speaking in Swahili, but I'm gonna say it in English. He was like, young girl, where are you going to? I'm like, I'm flying to Germany. And she's like, he was like, where is your yellow fever? I'm like, I don't have a yellow fever. She takes me off the line, like he pulls me out of the line. So when he pulled me out of the line, this is my first time here. I really don't know what was happening, but I'm just trying to keep my cool. We go to this small room. There's another lady, and then the officer's like, this one, give her the yellow fever shot. I think people get shots or whatever, I don't know. Give her the yellow fever shot. And I'm like looking at the lady, I'm like, no, I'm not here to stay. I'm just doing a transit. And do you know the way these stupid ass Zanzibar people, Tanzanian people cannot speak English? They don't even understand the English themselves. Hildegrade, sorry. They don't even understand English. So when I'm telling her, no, I'm just here for transit. She doesn't understand what I'm saying, transit. And then, the way they speak Swahili, and it's not like our Kenyan slang Swahili, it's like Swahili ya sijui wapi. She's like, I cannot even speak the Swahili, but yeah. I'm like, I'm just here for transit. I don't need the yellow fever. She's like, no, in our country you have to get the yellow fever. I'm like, I'm here for transit. I was literally there for 10 minutes arguing with her, telling her I'm here for transit. And then she was like, kwani una connecti? Who says that? Una connecti? I'm like, yeah, that is what I've been trying to tell you the whole fucking time, bitch. And then she's like, oh, okay, now I understand. And then she let me go. So when she let me go outside, this officer was waiting for me Oh, security. This security guard was waiting for me. So I was with my suitcases. I step outside. There are like 4 security guards waiting for me. I was really a 19-year-old kid who doesn't understand what is even going on. It's 1 a.m. in the morning. There's 4 security guards waiting for me. Now they're asking me, where are you coming from? Oh, what are you doing in our country? I'm like, I'm coming from Kenya. Where from Kenya? Nairobi. And then they're like, oh, so you're transferring drugs, huh? You're transferring drugs. I'm like, what? What you mean drugs? I've never even smoked weed in my life. I don't even know how weed looks like. I'm like, what you mean drugs? They're like, yeah, you Kenyans always smuggling drugs. You're smuggling drugs. I'm like, what smuggling drugs? Guys, I don't even know how weed looks like. But still, what you mean I'm smuggling drugs? And then they took me upstairs to some room with another magogo, like, and not a grandma, but like those grandmas who still work. Those who are tarabu, tiriru, tun tun, tururu. Those people who sing tarab. She was looking like that. So they took me to that room, to that lady. And then they're like, this girl is smuggling drugs. I'm like, you guys, I don't know how I did not cry that day. I really do not know how I did not cry. They're like, this girl is smuggling drugs. You need to check her. And they stood there. The lady told me, msichana, fungua bags zako. Like, girl, open your bags. I opened my bags. She tells me, remove everything one by one. And like, do like this. Everything one by one. Doing like this. And removing all the pockets. And I'm telling you guys, this suitcase is around 40 kg. Like, I have luggages for 40 kgs with clothes and whatever. It's 1 a.m. bitch. I've not slept. My other plane was leaving at 9 a.m. in the morning. So I start removing my clothes, just doing like this, doing like that. Each and every clothes, there was nothing on the suitcase. They're like, cut the suitcase. Maybe she's hiding the drugs, like, inside the suitcase. I'm just like, guys, what did I do to you all for you all to treat me like this? Like, what did I do? You know? Because you're 19 years old, you don't even know what is happening. This is the first time you're stepping out of your country and people are treating you like this. And they are confused, like you don't know what's happening. Anyways, so I'm like, okay, cool. And then after I finish with my luggage, the lady tells me, now remove your clothes. Like, I have to check your body. You know, when you enter jail the first time and then they tell you to squat and cough. Is Detroit. Yeah. I had to fucking do that. Guys, till this day, I always ask myself, what did I do to those guys for them to treat me like that? Just because I was coming from Kenya. I don't always tell the story because I always start crying, but bitch is not gonna cry. We're baddies, we don't cry. We're motherfucking city girls, we don't cry. We don't cry over here. So I remove my clothes. This guy is now go outside. Now I'm with the lady removing my clothes. Cause I don't know. Yeah, now I'm with the lady. I removed all my clothes, my t-shirt, I don't know what I was wearing that day. I'll insert pictures of me like at the airport or whatever. So I remove my clothes, everything. She checks me every fucking where. I felt so violated, guys. I cannot even explain. I felt so violated. And there's no one I can call because I didn't even have a SIM card. I didn't even get enough time to get a SIM card to call anyone. Or like to be like, I don't know, guys. I don't know. To this day, I always say, if I ever get rich enough to buy a country, or rich enough to buy someone to go and kill those. I will do that, by the way. Anyways, yeah. To this date, I will just say, if I ever get rich, like rich enough, I will sink that Zanzibar's economy. I will sink it to the ocean bed. Sink it to the ocean bed. And I said what I said. You all can come for me. Because ain't no way you're treating a 19-year-old kid like that. This lady finishes with me. She tells me, now you can put your bag, everything together. And now these other 4 men that are outside waiting, they took my documents. Like every fucking thing. From the passport to my Aupair documents to everything. They took them. So they're outside. So me in this camera room, in this room, I'm packing my bags again. Like, I'm packing on my clothes again, trying to like squash them inside just to hurry up, because I'm thinking this thing is over. Let me go get some sleep somewhere and catch my plane. So I put on my clothes, take my bags, go outside to where they are. Now I'm going for my documents. And now this other guy asked me, Aupair ni nini? Like now, like what does Aupair mean? I explained to him what Aupair means. But this guy is not understanding what that means. He's like, inu kora. Like, this is, how do you say kora in English? This is criminal activity. That is what he says, practically. That is what he says. He says, this is criminal activity. I'm like, at that point, I did not even answer him or say anything back, because I'm just like, in my head, I'm like, I'm not gonna be here for long because my plane is leaving tomorrow. So you all can just do whatever you want. At least I'll be going tomorrow and leaving you all in this miserable country. That was in my head what I was thinking. So I tell him, he says, no, this is criminal activity. We've not found drugs on you, but we are sure something is wrong. Something is fishy. And then he tells me, you're not gonna get to the plane tomorrow. And I'm looking at him like, are you the one who paid the ticket? Are you the one who paid the ticket to tell me I'm not gonna be in the train tomorrow? Are you the CEO of the plane? The naive 19-year-old in me is thinking like that. And then he gives me my documents, and then he tells me, we're going to give you a visa, a Zanzibar visa, for 14 days. But like for 14 days, so that you can figure out how you're going to get back home, like now to go back to Kenya. But you're not gonna get into the plane. So at this point, I'm just thinking, these people are joking, like this, they're just scaring me or something. I'm like, okay, cool. I take my things, I go to some, it was not restaurant, some canteen kind of thing. Some canteen was there. I buy biscuits and then sit on the bench. I think I slept on that bench till in the morning around 7. I woke up at 7 I was sleeping on that bench. So I wake up at 7. I ran to the other side of the airport to check in my bags. I get there. This other security guard, like I think he was the new shift, he checks my bag in. And then as he was checking my bag in, the security guard now from the last night, he comes running. He say, no, she's not going. I'm looking at him. I'm like, what's wrong with you? Like, nini nakusumbua lakini, like, what is wrong with you? Because at this point now you're reaching. That is what I was thinking in my head. I'm like, if it's jokes now, you're overstepping boundaries. Because what is wrong with you? It's like, no, she's not going. I'm just like, they take my bags off from the check-in. They take the boarding pass back. I sit there. I kind of realize now that he's being serious. Because this whole time I was thinking he's joking. Now I follow him. I'm begging him. I'm almost crying. I'm begging him. I'm like, what is wrong? what is wrong? He's like, even if you go to the immigration office, they're not gonna pass you. I'm like, let me talk to your boss then. He tells me he's on the immigration side. I go to the immigration side. I tell them I'm supposed to take the plane that is leaving in an hour, but I'm not going to take it. And they tell me, give me your documents. I give them my documents. They read that through and they're like, now my documents were in German. The Aupair documents were in German. They like, it's either you translate this whole document to English, or no, it's either you translate this whole document to Swahili, or we're not gonna let you in. So I'm sitting there, I'm like, how am I supposed to transfer the document to Swahili? Like, these people are looking for each and every small problem to make me go back home. Or like, I don't know if it was racism, I don't know if it was discrimination. But he's like, and then I'm like, I try to explain to him what it is. I tell him I cannot translate it. Like, I cannot translate the whole document to like a new document in Swahili, because I don't have facilities to do that. But this is what Aupair means, and this is what I'm going to be doing. And he's like, no, I cannot help you. I cannot help you. They send me back to a bench, because like now I was like begging them and following them everywhere. So they send me back to a bench and they tell another security guard, make sure that girl doesn't stand from there. You can just, these men who are treating me like this guy, you guys, I hope God bans you. I hope you guys get banned and banned to burnt sacrifice, to burnt offerings. Get banned. Ban. Because you cannot tell me you will treat someone's kid like that. Ban is the word. You all guys comment down below. Ban. So yeah, I sit there. You guys, I just see how my plane takes off. Like now my German plane, I just look at it taking off, because this whole time I'm just in disbelief. I'm just like, I could not even start to process what was happening, because immediately I walked into that airport, it was chaos after chaos after chaos. I just see my plane take off, just like that. And then when it's gone, I can see it disappear in the sky. This other lady officer comes to me and she's like, don't worry, maybe these people don't understand. I'm like, bitch, you cannot even help me right now, so just take your stupid ass words and shove them up your ass, because what the fuck is this? Is this how you guys treat people in your country? And then when you come to Kenya, you say Kenyans are rude. Nyinyi wenyewe washamba. Anyways, so as I see my plane taking off, I call my dad. And something about me, if I'm pissed or if I'm mad, I always call my dad. And the moment I hear his voice, I cry. So I call my dad, and then he talks back. He's like, hello, daughter, because my dad calls me daughter. And I just start bawling. I was like, crying. He's like, you know, like when you call your parent and you're crying and you're outside of the country, this is the first time you're out of a country, they can get a heart attack. He's like, tell me what's up, what is going on. And I explained to him what happened from that night to that other night. My dad did not even wait. My dad did not even do what. He just sent money for the next plane to go back to Nairobi. And that is why, if I ever get money in this world, I will buy my dad the whole world. I will buy him. Let me not talk like that, because I'll start crying. You guys see my eyes and now water. But that man did not even stutter. That man did not even wait for 1 second. He sent the airplane money back to Nairobi at that fucking minute, at that fucking point. Let's give my dad 1 minute of silence just to appreciate him. That person, that man, he's my pillar. let me just tell you all, guys, I can start preaching right now. He is my pillar. Like, I don't know what I can do without that man. I really do not. Anyway, let's continue the story. So I took the next flight back to Nairobi. He came and picked me up from the airport, my dad with my brother. And I was just bawling. I was just crying. I got home. Anyways, babe, guys, that story is so sad. So let's continue. And then after all that shenanigans, I got to book plane a week after now from Mombasa to Nairobi. You all, the people want to come here as au pairs, don't connect at Zanzibar. I think I'm gonna insert pictures of like what I did in au pair, just like to show you guys. Together for a year, and then I moved out. So if you move out from the au pair family, you have to know what you want to do. You just don't move out and start shenaniganing around Germany. You have to have a plan, or else you will be illegal here and they will send you back home. They will look for you with a magnifying glass and send you back home. By the way, with a fucking magnifying glass and send you back home. So if you finish your au pair, when you're here, finish your au pair, go do social year or go do apprenticeship. But I would really advise on doing social year, because when you come here and you stay with the family for 1 year, don't think your German is going to be fluent. Till right now, my German is not fluent. I can speak, I can communicate. We can say abacadabra, 1, 2, 3, but it's not fluent. You're still learning as you go. So after au pair, do social year. After social year, do apprenticeship. Now, like school, studies. Go venture into what for me I knew I wanted to do something with hospitals. That's why I went for nursing. But for you, if you want to do anything with makeup, go for makeup. If you want to do anything with hospitality, there's hotels everywhere. If you want to do, like, the thing in Germany is there's opportunities every fucking way you go. Like, every door you open, there's opportunities. And these people are looking for workers. By the way, this is a new thing. I think they changed. Right now, there's an easier way to come to Germany as a worker. If you have a degree, if you have something to show that you studied for something, let's say degree in accounting, degree in hospitality, if you have a profession, if you're working as this in Kenya and you want to come to Germany, you can apply for a 1 year. I think you can apply for a 1 year visa and then look for a job, or you can look for a job from home in Kenya and look for a job in Kenya, and when you get the job, you get the visa. So like they've made it easier. You don't even need to speak German, or you need A1 German, and that is so easy. Like, that is so easy. I would literally do it in my sleep. Who fails A1 German? So you need A1 German, but you really don't need to be speaking German, because if you're coming to work for an English company here, you speak English. You don't need the German. But I would advise you to do an A1. To do A1, because A1, just do A1 just for you to know the basics, because you wouldn't want to go to a country and know nothing and be standing there like a cow gazing at people when they're talking. Because one thing about Germans, they will speak German. They will speak German and make you look like a fool, because now what? You think they're going to speak extra English because of you? Do A1 for easier communication. And if you guys want to know how to apply for the social years, if you guys want to know how to get into the apprenticeship, into the studying, you all can comment down below and I will do it. But I think I'm just gonna keep it short and sweet. Short and sweet. Upon your money, baby. Upon your money. And by the way, if you want to study in Germany or like do the apprenticeship, you need to have B2 German level. But don't be scared. You can come to German as an au pair with your A2, and then as you're in German, you can further your studies.